Hi, welcome along everyone today. So today's the day, going to connect this water meter to my supply, and this is a home one for indoors, so you can keep a check without having to dig down out the front trying to find what the reading is down the hole. What you're going to make sure it is that it's fitted above the stopcock, and also that it's before any draw off points, so that it meters everything basically that comes into the house. Now there are many ways of connecting this up. It's got two little connectors here that have washers on. Take that one off. I've left the washer on the side there. There's a little washer sits on there. Oh, there it is, it's in there. Okay, I'll probably drop it on the floor, knowing me. No, there we go, I've got it back in. So you got one of those at either end. Okay, now you can use copper pipe, plastic, even flexes. So the copper pipe, you can use one of these type swivel connectors if you want it to carry on straight up like so. If you want to use that, you can use a plastic connector if you want to come off on plastic. If you use a swivel connector on the plastic, you can come off on that thread the same like so, and to carry on around with your plastic. You've got more flexibility, as you would say. And lastly, the flexi way. It's a flexi connector, and they do connect straight on to there again, so you can see that thread is the same. Don't smash the glass out. These things. Right, there it goes like so. Here we are then under my cupboard, and you can see my stopcock down there. Okay, first thing you've got to do is turn that off. Now you'll see there's a sure stop above it, which I'm taking out now. I never use it. It's still going though, by the way, and it runs up then the pipe to a T-piece there, as you can see. So I'm going to take that entire bit of pipe out between this joint down here and the one up at the T, and remove the whole thing and get that sure stop out. Here we go then. So first thing, as per normal, before you start anything, water off. Okay, here's my stopcock. I'm turning it off. Keep going until it squishes down nice and tight like that. Okay, let's say I'm going to undo this nut here now. There will be a little bit of dead water in the pipe before you take it away, simply because it's at the lowest point in the house or bungalow, and the dead water lays in that pipe. It's got to come out, so you will still get some water there. So it's time to get some towels and stuff to put around it and catch it. So with my bit of old towel there, I'm just put this spanner on the bottom nut of that stopcock, and I'm going to turn that now and just get it going on the bottom there. Okay, I haven't completely going to take it out just yet, so I'm going to loosen the one on the top first. So we'll get that so far. Now we'll undo the one that's up there. I'm just going to spin this one undone now. I've loosened it off with a spanner. You don't need to see it all. You can see it drop there. Okay, then we'll undo the bottom one. Push this one right off now. I know my hand's a bit in the way, I'm sorry about that. It's the only trouble with this sort of job. The camera has to be here, and that's it, but I think you can see that that's now off of there and out of the thread. Once that pulls out of there like that, I've got a bit of leeway on mine. I've got a plastic pipe underneath under the floor, so luckily I've got some gap to do some pulling out. I know some of you won't have that, and you may have to actually cut a length out of the pipe, a little bit out of the pipe, enough to fit the water meter in. I've got that little bit there, so I can kind of pull the stopcock down like that, and it's out of the socket, as you can see, clear. That leaves me to be able to pull it out from the top and pull the whole thing out like that. Here's the bit of pipe out with the sure stop one that's coming out. So I'm going to undo this here and undo this one here and take that out, and we'll see how the water meter measures up, because there's a good chance for me here to be able to put the meter on the pipe here, get it the same measurement, and it should fit straight back. Oh, he says he hopes. Right, as you can see, we can now dispense with the sure stop, but if you'd cut the pipe like so, then you know you've got to measure it now to fit this size of connection. And now I know everybody's going to be different in their cupboards, so if you wanted to bring your pipe meter round to here, you could easily use flexi pipe and bring it round and have it round here somewhere at the front of the cupboard, which would be easier to view, but I'm not too fussed about that. Here then, before we go connecting our meter, just to show you, there's our arrow, direction arrow, so it's flowing that way. Now to make sure it's the right way around, you'll see that there's a filter on there. That's why I brought the camera outside, for better light, and that obviously is the inlet, so it will collect any debris in there. Here we have the usual scenario when you've cut the pipe. There's a bit out of it obviously because I had that sure stop in there, but now you've got to mark this out to cut this in. Can you see that? So it's just a matter now of getting that measurement now right, and then we can drop our meter in. Just before we go any further in, just to show you one thing, I was hoping the copper pipe would slide in, which it does, but unfortunately the cone stops it from doing up. That is the olive on the pipe, so it won't quite do. It only goes that far and then strips around. So unfortunately you can't use your copper pipe idea. It was a bit of a damn nuisance, but never mind. So it's going to be these. That's these, we call them female iron to copper couplings, and that's because they go on to the male thread there and screw on. I'm going to use those screwed on there on either end. So I'm going to screw those on now. Now, with my joints all made up, here I used female iron couplings, as I said. I've used Boss White and hemp. I've used the potable stuff, the legal. Don't worry everybody, but that's up to you. PTFE tape is as good as well, so don't worry. I've made the copper on that end there because I'm going to kind of off it up like this. I'm going to it's a bit of the way. Just get it there and put it in like so. So you can see it's in the bottom end, and if I show you the top end there, you can see how much pipe I've got to measure to fit in that gap. The piece now is all made up, so the eagle eye amongst you would have noticed that that was upside down when I offered it in there, but it didn't matter because I was just getting the measurement, that was all. Okay, now we're going to make sure that is the bottom, which it is, because there's our arrow going up, and we're going to offer the whole thing in all done up. So I've only got 2 nuts to do up, one at the top end of the T and one down the bottom to the stopcock. Right, and I'm going to offer it up to the T piece first. Okay, so make sure you got it round the right end. Check the arrow is the right, okay, which it is there. Make sure, I know I've double checked it. It's going up in there now. I need 2 hands and the camera's right in the way. So I'm just going to move you out and stop you a second and come back when I've started that nut up. Now, as you can see, I've hand tightened the coupling, the T piece there, so the nuts on to the valve that we've got down here. There's our meter valve, and you can see now all I've got to do now is get this little bit inside there, and I've got a bit of movement on mine, so I've got good old plastic underneath. So it does depend on your fitting and how tight things are, but you have to just make the best and get your way around it. This, say, is just my particular situation. Yours would probably be totally different. So as I said earlier, unfortunately I've got to move the camera out of the way, get myself in there. Just to pop that in there now, you can see I've got a bit of leeway. I'm just going to pull my stopcock up onto it, and then I'm going to tighten it up. There then, we have the piping. I've tightened both ends now, the one up there by the T, and obviously the one on the stopcock now. So we're ready to give it a flash up and see how we go. I've got the kitchen cold tap open, so we should see the meter move once I turn the water on. Now let's give it a little go, shall we? Test number 1. Here we go. And look at it go. That meter's leaving the treat, isn't it? Isn't it fantastic? Now you can at last meter your own supply. Okay then, so that's about it. Bit of a job, but not too bad. I'm sure it's easy within all your plumbing capabilities. You're all very good out there. So that's about it then. All my stuff, you know where to go, usual place. Derriton 33. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.